Have you ever found yourself lying awake at 3 a.m., contemplating the deeper meaning of a casual conversation you had weeks ago? Or perhaps you felt that inexplicable urge to completely reinvent your life because a song touched something deep within your soul. If you're nodding along, chances are you're an INFJ, and you've probably realized by now that living a normal life isn't exactly in the cards for you. But here's the thing, your inability to fit into the conventional mold isn't a defect, it's your greatest gift to the world. Today we're going to explore the fascinating world of the INFJ personality type, diving deep into why these rare individuals making up less than 1% of the population simply can't and shouldn't live what society considers a normal life. We'll uncover the beautiful complexity that makes INFJ unique and why their extraordinary way of experiencing the world is something to be celebrated, not changed. The constant inner symphony, a mind that never rests. Living as an INFJ means experiencing life through a lens of perpetual depth and meaning. Imagine walking into a coffee shop while others see a simple cafe. An INFJ mind transforms it into an intricate tapestry of human experiences, emotions, and possibilities. That barista's slightly forced smile triggers an entire internal analysis about the modern work culture and its impact on authentic human connections. The way sunlight filters through the window becomes a metaphor for hope breaking through life's challenges. Even the coffee's aroma might spark a philosophical contemplation about the interconnectedness of global trade and human relationships. This constant inner symphony isn't just about overthinking, it's about experiencing life in high definition, with every detail carrying profound significance. When an INFJ watches a movie, they're not just following the plot, they're analyzing the symbolic meanings, relating character arcs to universal human experiences, and probably developing theories about how the story reflects broader societal patterns. A simple walk in the park becomes an odyssey of sensory and emotional experiences, where every rustling leaf might carry a message, and every passing stranger's expression tells a story. This depth of perception extends to every aspect of life. In conversations, INFJ aren't just hearing words, they're reading between the lines, picking up on subtle emotional undertones, and connecting dots that others might not even see exist. It's like having a built-in emotional and intellectual radar that never turns off, constantly scanning for deeper meaning and hidden truths. The empathy tsunami, when feeling everything becomes overwhelming. The INFJ empathic abilities go far beyond simple understanding or compassion. It's as if they possess an emotional Geiger counter that picks up on the faintest traces of feelings in their environment. Walking into a room full of people isn't just a social experience, it's like stepping into an emotional orchestra where they can hear every instrument playing simultaneously. The subtle tension between colleagues, the unspoken excitement of a friend planning to share good news, the underlying anxiety of a stranger checking their phone repeatedly, an INFJ absorbs it all, often without even trying. This extraordinary empathic ability comes with both gifts and challenges. On one hand, it makes INFJ incredible counselors and friends, able to offer insights and support that cut straight to the heart of matters. They often know what others need before they can articulate it themselves. On the other hand, this constant emotional absorption can be overwhelming, leading to what many INFJ experience as emotional exhaustion or burnout. Consider a typical day in the life of an INFJ. They might start their morning feeling the weight of their roommate's unspoken relationship troubles, carry the stress of their coworkers through the workday, absorb the collective anxiety in their evening yoga class, and end up processing their best friend's career crisis before bed. All this while managing their own emotions and experiences. It's like being a living, breathing emotional sponge in a world that's constantly spilling feelings everywhere. The perfectionist's paradise in prison, when good enough is never enough. For INFJ, perfectionism isn't just about getting things right, it's about making things meaningful. This deep-seated drive for perfection manifests in ways that often baffle others. An INFJ might spend hours crafting an email, not because they're concerned about grammar, but because they're trying to ensure the emotional resonance of their words perfectly matches their intentions. They might reorganize their entire living space, not for aesthetic purposes, but because they believe the energy flow affects their ability to think and create. This perfectionism extends beyond the tangible into the realm of personal growth and relationships. INFJ often hold themselves to impossible standards, believing they should be able to solve everyone's problems, maintain perfect harmony in their relationships, and constantly evolve as individuals. They might spend years crafting their ideal career path, not because they're indecisive, but because they're searching for that perfect alignment between their values, abilities, and their vision for making a positive impact on the world. The challenge lies in balancing this drive for perfection with the reality of human limitations. INFJ often find themselves caught in a cycle of idealistic vision versus practical constraints, leading to a unique form of analysis paralysis, where nothing feels quite good enough to match their internal standards. The contradiction collection embracing the paradox. Being an INFJ means living with constant internal paradoxes that make normal life impossible. They are both deeply emotional and intensely logical, often analyzing their feelings with the precision of a scientist while feeling their way through logical problems. They crave deep connections with others, but require extensive solitude to maintain their emotional equilibrium. They can read others with remarkable accuracy, but remain enigmatic themselves. These contradictions manifest in everyday life in fascinating ways. An INFJ might spend hours planning the perfect social gathering, only to need several days alone to recover from it. They might be the one friends come to for life-changing advice while simultaneously questioning every decision in their own life. They can appear quiet and reserved in large groups, but become passionately expressive when discussing topics they care about with trusted individuals. This collection of contradictions makes it challenging for INFJ to follow conventional life paths or meet traditional expectations. How do you explain to an employer that you need both collaborative projects and significant alone time to do your best work? How do you tell friends that you deeply value their presence in your life, but might disappear for weeks to recharge? The intuitive detective reading between life's lines. An INFJ intuitive abilities often feel like having access to a hidden frequency of human experience. They don't just observe, they perceive patterns, connections, and underlying meanings that others might miss entirely. This intuitive understanding goes beyond simple gut feelings. It's a complex integration of observed details, emotional undertones, and pattern recognition that operates almost constantly. In professional settings, this manifests as an uncanny ability to predict project outcomes, understand team dynamics, and identify potential problems long before they surface. In personal relationships, it allows INFJ to understand others' needs and motivations, often before the individuals themselves are fully aware of them. This deep intuitive understanding can make normal interactions challenging, as INFJ often sense the disconnect between what people say and what they truly mean or feel. The creativity curse and blessing when imagination knows no bounds. The INFJ creative mind operates like a perpetual idea generator, constantly spinning new possibilities, connections, and visions. This isn't just about artistic expression, though many INFJ are drawn to creative pursuits. It's about seeing the world through a lens of potential transformation. Every situation becomes a canvas for improvement, every problem an opportunity for innovative solutions. This creative drive often leads INFJ to reimagine conventional systems and approaches. They might envision new ways of structuring work environments to better support emotional well-being, or develop unique approaches to education that honor individual learning styles. Their creativity extends into their personal lives as well, where they might create elaborate systems for personal growth or develop unique solutions to everyday challenges. The relationship Rubik's Cube navigating love and connection. For INFJ, relationships aren't just about companionship, they're about growth, depth, and mutual understanding. This makes dating and maintaining relationships particularly challenging in a world that often prioritizes surface-level connections and casual encounters. INFJ seek partners who can match their depth of thought and feeling, who understand their need for both intense connection and solitude, and who are willing to engage in the kind of profound discussions that energize them. The challenge extends beyond romantic relationships into friendships and family dynamics. INFJ often find themselves struggling to maintain boundaries while still being there for loved ones. They might feel torn between their desire to help others and their need for self-preservation, leading to complex relationship dynamics that don't fit conventional patterns. It's the career conundrum. INFJ often find themselves in a unique professional predicament. They might excel in their chosen field, while simultaneously feeling a deep sense of disconnection from their work. A successful INFJ lawyer might spend their evenings writing poetry about social justice. A talented software engineer might dedicate their weekends to counseling friends or volunteering at local shelters. This constant juggling of practical needs and spiritual fulfillment creates a career journey that rarely follows a straight path. What makes this especially challenging is the INFJ need to align their work with their values. They can't simply clock in and clock out every project, every task. Every interaction must somehow contribute to their larger vision of making the world better. This often leads to career changes that might seem drastic to others, but make perfect sense to the INFJ internal value system. An INFJ might leave a high-paying corporate job to become a therapist, or abandon a stable teaching position to start an innovative educational program, all in pursuit of work that feels more authentic to their soul's purpose. The social battery saga: understanding INFJ energy management. The way INFJ navigates social interactions is perhaps one of the clearest indicators of their inability to live a normal life. Their social battery operates on a completely different system than most people's. While extroverted types might gain energy from casual social interactions and large gatherings, INFJ experience these situations as energy draining, even when they're enjoying themselves. Consider a typical social scenario: an INFJ attends a friend's party. They might appear completely engaged, offering deep conversations and meaningful connections to those around them. They might even be the life of the party in their own quiet way, providing insights and creating intimate moments of connection. However, beneath this engaged exterior, their social battery is draining rapidly. Each small talk conversation feels like running a marathon. Every loud laugh or overlapping conversation creates a sensory overload that requires processing. The recovery period needed after social interactions often baffles others. An INFJ might need several days of solitude after a weekend of socializing, not because they didn't enjoy themselves, but because their emotional and mental processing requires this downtime. During these recovery periods, they're not just recharging, they're processing conversations, analyzing interactions, and integrating experiences into their understanding of the world. The mission-driven life, finding purpose in every moment. INFJ approach life with an underlying sense of mission that transforms even the most mundane activities into opportunities for meaning and growth. This mission-driven mindset makes it impossible to simply go through the motions of daily life without questioning their deeper purpose and impact. Take something as simple as organizing a bookshelf. While others might see this as a straightforward task of alphabetizing and categorizing, an INFJ turns it into a meditation on knowledge organization and personal growth. They might arrange books by how they've influenced their life journey, create a system that reflects their personal philosophy, or use the task as an opportunity to contemplate their intellectual evolution. Even grocery shopping becomes an exercise in mindful living and ethical consideration. INFJ might spend extra time reading labels not just for nutritional information, but to understand the story behind each product, where it came from, how it was produced, and what purchasing it means in the greater context of global sustainability and social responsibility. The visionaries' burden: seeing what could be. One of the most challenging aspects of being an INFJ is living with the constant awareness of potential, both fulfilled and unfulfilled. They don't just see the world as it is, they see it as it could be. This gift of vision comes with a unique form of burden: the continuous awareness of the gap between current reality and possible perfection. In relationships, this manifests as seeing the highest potential in others, sometimes before they see it themselves. INFJ often find themselves in the role of unofficial mentor or guide, gently encouraging others toward their best selves. However, this can also lead to disappointment when others don't share their vision or aren't ready to pursue the growth the INFJ envisions for them. In professional settings, this visionary tendency can make INFJ seem like perpetual revolutionaries. They're often the ones questioning established systems, proposing innovative solutions, and pushing for meaningful change. This can be both their greatest strength and their greatest source of frustration, as they balance their idealistic visions with practical limitations. The emotional alchemist, transforming feelings into wisdom. INFJ possess a unique ability to transform emotional experiences into wisdom and insight. Their inner world is like an emotional laboratory, where feelings are not just experienced but studied, analyzed, and transformed into deeper understanding. This process of emotional alchemy is far from normal. While others might experience an emotion and move on, INFJ instinctively dive deeper, examining the feeling from multiple angles, connecting it to past experiences, and seeking to understand its broader implications. A moment of joy isn't just happiness, it's an opportunity to understand what truly brings fulfillment. A period of sadness becomes a journey of self-discovery and growth. The sacred solitude understanding INFJ alone time. For INFJ, solitude is not just a preference, it's a necessity for maintaining their emotional and mental well-being. Their alone time is sacred, used for processing experiences, recharging their emotional batteries, and connecting with their inner wisdom. This need for solitude often conflicts with society's expectations of constant connectivity and social availability. During these solitary periods, INFJ aren't just doing nothing, they're engaging in complex internal processes. They might be processing emotional experiences from recent interactions, developing creative solutions to problems they've observed, connecting seemingly unrelated ideas into new insights, reflecting on their personal growth and life direction, writing in journals to clarify their thoughts and feelings, engaging in creative pursuits that express their inner world, meditating on deeper truths and universal patterns, embracing the extraordinary conclusion. The truth is, INFJ can't live a normal life because they were never meant to. Their unique combination of empathy, intuition, creativity, and depth creates a way of being that defies conventional categorization. What might seem like limitations or quirks to others are actually the very qualities that make INFJ powerful agents of positive change in the world. The key to thriving as an INFJ lies not in trying to conform to normality, but in embracing their extraordinary nature. This means honoring their need for meaningful work and relationships, respecting their unique energy management needs, cultivating environments that support their sensitivity, using their intuitive gifts to create positive change, allowing themselves to process life at their own depth, accepting that their path may look different from others. In a world that often prioritizes speed over depth, surface over substance, and conformity over authenticity, INFJ serve as reminders that there are other ways of being. Their inability to live a normal life isn't a flaw, it's a feature that allows them to see, feel, and create things that others might miss. To every INFJ reading this, your complexity is your gift. Your sensitivity is your strength. Your depth is your contribution to a world that desperately needs more meaningful connection and authentic purpose. Keep questioning, keep feeling deeply, keep seeking meaning, because in your abnormal way of being, you're helping to create a new normal that the world needs more than ever. Remember, being unable to live a normal life doesn't mean you're living wrong, it means you're living true to your extraordinary nature. And in that truth lies your greatest power to impact the world in ways that only an INFJ can.